My channel. So today I'm going to be showing you guys how to make this little girl's dress with a cape. So the first thing you're going to do is to cut out the fabric you're going to be using. So this is I'm going to start with the top bodice. So I have my pattern for the front. The one on top is folded into two, and then the one for the back is into two pieces here, right? Because of the zip allowance. And as you can see, I have my about 1 inch or 1.5 for the zip, 1.5 for my zip allowance here. And then the width of my fabric is just the chest measurement divided by 4. So the chest I'm working with is 24 divided by 4 is 6, but I added half an inch for ease because it's a little girl. This is for a 6 years old, by the way. So I added half an inch for ease, and then 1 inch for my seam allowance. So I have 7.5 here for the fold of this fabric, and then my back panel has extra 1.5 here, which is going to be for my zip at the back. So now the next thing you're going to do is to insert the shoulder measurement. The shoulder I'm working with is 10. This is going to be a short sleeve. So I'm going to just make it, instead of using 10 divided by, that's the full shoulder measurement divided by 2, which is 5. I'm going to make it I'm going to subtract half an inch from it and make it 4.5 instead. So normally when you're making a short sleeve, the shoulder measurement divided by 2, before you put it in, you subtract 1 inch. Not in an adult, you normally subtract like 1 inch, but this is a kid, so I'm just trying to subtract half an inch here. And then I'm going to insert my armhole. The armhole I'm working with is going to be 6 here, which is 12 round, and then divided by 2 is going to be 6. I'm going to mark it up this way, and then I'm going to give it a curve like this. And then I'm going to mark bust measurement divided by 4. Bust is 24 divided by 4 is 6, plus half an inch of ease and 1 inch of seam allowance. Mark that here. And then coming down to the waist, I'm working with 22 divided by 4 is going to be 5.5, plus extra 1 inch of darting, and then 1 inch of seam allowance. So I'm going to be using the whole full length of the end of this here. I'm not going to be cutting anything out, because remember, kids, they normally have tummy, so that's why most times their clothes don't, at the waist is big. So I'm going to just be darting it here. I'm going to give it a dart here. So to give it the dart, I'm just going to mark the nipple to nipple measurement, and then the one I'm working with here is about 6 divided by 2 is going to be 3, and then mark that. And then I'm going to go up here and just insert my dart. So I'm going to make my dart about 3 inches of length, and then mark half an inch on each side, connect it this way. So this is going to be the bodice here. For the neckline here, I'm going to make it, you can use 2 inches, but I want to open up the neckline a little bit more, so I might do 2.2. So mark that here, and then I'm going to come down here by half an inch for my shoulder slope, connect it this way. And then now I'm going to go ahead and cut this out. So I'm going to just start from here. There's nothing to cut out by the side because it's exactly the same width. And then I'm going to just cut out this part here all the way up. And then I'm going to just make 1 inch neckline for now. Later I'm going to just 1 inch of neckline. I'm going to cut out the neckline I'm going to be working with. So guys, now that I've cut this out, what I'm going to do is, for the front neckline, I'm basically going to make it 2.2 here. So I'm going to come down 2.2 inches of length, and then mark that here. This is going to be my front neckline, but the back neckline, I want the back neckline to go down even further. So for the back neckline, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just come down here by, it depends on you, it's going to be like a V at the back, so I might just do 4 inches down from here. So somewhere here is what I'm going to do. So I'm going to mark that this way. This is total of 5 inches, because remember, I've already cut out 1 inch for your basic neckline. So from here to here is 4 inches. So in total, the back depth is 5 inches. So I'm going to cut this out. So guys, now that I've cut everything out, as you can see, I notched the part for my dart, and then also notched the part I notched the part for the dart, and then it extended to the back. But the dart at the back is going to go up to probably like 5 inches of length all the way up here. The one in front is about 3 inches, but the one at the back is going to be longer. So now all I have to do is just to go ahead and join the shoulder together. So each of them this way. So this is going to be the center back. and then I have to just go ahead and join the shoulder together so that I can be able to cut out my neckline. So guys, as you can see, I've gone ahead and put in my darts for the back, and then I've also put in the one in front and joined the shoulder. So now I'm going to go ahead and trace out this neckline. So guys, this is it here. I've marked out the neckline. So you're going to just place it this way, open it up enough so that everything is flat. You're going to mark out your neckline on the fabric you're using. You can be a different color, but for this I'm using the same color of fabric. And as you can see here, I notched the top part of my zip allowance at the back. If you look closely, you see where I notched it. This is so that because this cape here is not going to enter into the zipper, it's going to stop before the zip, but still I need half an inch to finish up the end of the zip. So you see, I marked my neckline all the way around, right? I marked my neckline all the way around, but I gave it this mark here to know where my notch from the body is. Now I'm going to also add half an inch on this side. This half an inch is going to be the seam allowance because I'm going to be cutting two of the capes, right? So this half an inch is what I'm going to just use to sew it down, but I already marked where the neckline is going to stop, which is here. So now what I have to do is just to take this out. It depends on you what you want to use. So I've extended my lines, and then I think I'm going to make mine about 4 inches, and then I'm going to just mark it all the way around. So guys, as you can see, I've marked mine out. This is the part I was talking about here. This is my main line here, but I added half an inch at the end because I'm going to be cutting two of this. So, but in front, I used about 4 inches distance here. You can do 5 inches if you want, but I did 4 inches for this part here, and then 4.5 going towards the side. And then at this longest part, I did 5 inches. The same here, the center front is 4 inches coming this way, 4.5 to the side, and then went down to 5 inches at the end. So now all I have to do is just to cut this whole thing out this way. So guys, now that I've finished this, all I have to do, you see I've cut out two of it here, and see it here. So I made sure to cut the right side, the front of the fabric, to be facing each other. So the two front sides are facing each other. This is the two wrong sides outside. So all I have to do is just to start from this point here, sew it down all the way around this way, back again, flip it inside out and iron it. So guys, this is the color here. So if you want, you can just place it on top here. As you can see, I've notched the center and then also notched the center of my neckline here so that I don't make mistakes. So the next thing you can do is, the way it is now, you can take it this way, just sew it down all the way down, and then use your lining to flip it over. So if you have a lining, you just have to cut your lining the same way. Your lining is going to look exactly like this cloth here. You've joined the shoulder, you've joined the body, everything, and then you put this collar in between. Place your lining the same way you place this one, and then you're just going to sew it starting from this way inside out. Once you finish, you flip in your lining. It depends on you, or if you want the way it is now, you can just go ahead, take your bias this way and just keep sewing it down all the way. Use your bias to finish it. Once you're done, you flip it down this way. Use your bias to join it. But for me, since I want the collar to be loose at the top, like fold over a little, what I'm going to do is I'm going to place this inside and then place my collar here this way, and then place my collar this way, and then now I'm going to sew it down all the way. Once I finish sewing it down, then I can flip it out this way and bring out the collar to fall over, right? To fall over on top of it, because I want it to have I want it to look as if it's hanging. So that's what I'm going to do. So that's basically it for this here. I'm going to use my bias to finish it up once I do that, and then use bias to finish up the armhole. Once I finish up the armhole, I'm going to close it up. Guys, once I finish using bias to finish up the side, I'm going to close up these ends here, and then for the bottom part, how you're going to calculate it is basically, so guys, you already know what your shoulder to the end is. So that's how we calculated the length of this one when we were cutting it. How we were able to calculate the shoulder to waist of this here. We calculated from the shoulder to the waist. which was for me, this is a 6 years old, it was 11 inches, but I added 1 inch to it so that I can use half an inch to join the shoulder and half an inch to join this part here to the flay, right? So I used 12 inches of length in total. So how you're going to calculate the bottom now is from that same waist part to the end. So the full length of the dress I'm working with is going to be 25. From her shoulder to her knee is 25 inches. I subtracted 11 inches from her shoulder to half length, so I have 14 inches left. So 14 inches is supposed to be the length of this bottom flay, but I added 1.5 to it because I need 1 inch to fold the rough end and half an inch to join the top part. So that's why I have in total now this length here, I have plus 1.5, so I have 15.5 inches for my flay. So I'm going to just go ahead. I've already shown you guys how to make a box pleat, so you're just going to, it depends on you, you can use gather, you can use pleat. All you have to do is just start from one end. If you're using pleat, face it this way and then face this one this way, you pin it down, you make another pleat this way, then take the other one facing you this way, you pin it down, just like that. You continue going, and like that you've made your pleats. So I'm going to go ahead now, make my pleats, join it to this and join my collar. Gone ahead and finished it up. So I decided to just make a belt, and as I was sewing down the side, just to attach it to help hold the waist down. So you see, I added also a little bit of color to it using Akara fabric. So guys, for the neckline, I gave you guys two methods you can use. You can use the one where it can be able to overlap this way and fall over, or you can just sew it down and use bias. The excess fabric, if you decide to use the one that falls over, like the one you sew from the inside, just you can use a weaving stitch to just sew the outside, like the remaining seam that will be outside here, or you can also use bias. The only thing is that you just make the bias to face down this way and then just sew it down on top of this here all the way around. So that's how I did mine and finished it up. So for the back here, I'm still going to be adding zip, but at the moment I don't have any orange zip, so I left it for later. So I'm just going to still rip the seam and put in my zip, and that's basically how this dress is going to be. And then it has a belt to the back this way. So if you look at how the front is, if this fabric has some strength to it, maybe if I use like a bridal satin like the one on the thumbnail, then you will notice more how the neckline will come up a little bit more. But I like it the way it is now. The fabric I used, it's called Tetrex. So this is, I also made a bow tie for it, for the hair, and that's basically how you make this style. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, share and subscribe. Bye.